Welcome to Super Happy Dragon Lucky. The show will begin momentarily.
The internet is broken. Business models and site design are entirely geared toward advertising and not the reader. On today's internet, advertisements are distracting, invasive, and overwhelming. In Den, the primary objective is quality content. Instead of ads, you may occasionally see a boosted post where a user has risked value to increase its visibility. Just like any other post, you can upvote or downvote to help evaluate the relevance to your community. The more engagement a boosted post gets, the less the booster pays. Depending on the evaluation process, a booster can get up to 85% of their money back, if the post is well targeted and engaging. In Den, quality content is the primary objective.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Super Happy Dragon Lucky. This is episode 82, the 131st episode. Reminder, none of this is financial advice. Our first update this week, number go up, number of days that Bitcoin has not been breached since the 3rd of January, 2009. So it's 4,777 days, 4777 days that has not been breached. And this article is from Global Crypto Press, Ross, who you've seen on the Roundtable show. Very good guy and good people over there. So anyway, that's a good number go up this week, right? Next, Dragonchain updates. In case you missed it, the future of voting with populist revolt, return to voting integrity. It was an interview that we actually did a while back, and they just released it. They had particular reasons because of what's going on in Arizona, I believe. And you should go watch it. I think it's 3 parts. It might be 4 parts. But it is they split it up into separate parts, and it is their group, and are very interested in voting integrity and improving the voting process. They're doing a lot of work talking to lawmakers and educating them on what's possible. Very interesting and very valuable group. And they had some things that were happening in Arizona, so they released this, and of course it's me, and it is Ralph from Smart Ballots. So go and watch it. It's worth watching. Very good stuff. And I think we tried to explain how it works for a lay person, so that a lawmaker could understand generally what the capabilities are without understanding all the technical background. So next we go to Den.Social updates. Starting this morning, February 2022, LCP proposal phase is now open. It will run for 7 days, for 1 week. There are currently 131 proposals that are entered, and that you will be able to commit to. So now's the time. If there's anything missing, if there's anything that you think should be added for a proposal, get in there and add it right now. Do try to review what's already there, so that we don't have anything too redundant. But even if it is, some overlap, it's still okay to do it. So make your proposal. Make sure you follow the rules. Make sure you read what the proposal needs to look like, so you don't miss anything, and so you can make sure it gets included. Also, now's the good time to review all of the proposals that are there, to kind of plan what you might want to commit your lore to. And if you haven't ever purchased any lore or anything, you should look in your wallet, because if you've been using Den, you likely will have already been rewarded some lore for behavior. And let's see here. We had 2 last-minute requests to create layers in a runners-up option. First is Axie Infinity, and second is Travel and Explore. So we're going to get those created soon. We're going to be adjusting the window, though, for the runners-up option, starting with this February LCP. Denizens will have a shorter time. What we're going to do is make it so that you have to fill out the form and tip the matter to create that runners-up layer by the Sunday following the results announcement. So you'll have, not a full week, but you'll have, after the winner is announced or winners are announced, you'll have almost a week to say, okay, I want to go ahead and create this layer that I committed some lore to. So do follow that, do make sure that you take note of that so that you don't come in too late. And we're doing that just to simplify the process of creating the layers, because we have to send a few transactions, a few smart contract invocations on Ethereum, and it's easier to do them all at once rather than having to plan for a second set. So that's why we're doing it. But do see future posts for details. We'll make sure we outline all of that, especially with the results and with the other piece, the other phases of the LCP. Next, Denmobile had a new release. It is now live on Android, and as of yesterday, iOS also approved it, so it should be live there. Go and update if it hasn't automatically updated. The 2 things that were added are direct account in the profile page. You could already do that on the web. You couldn't do it on mobile. And because of some of the things that are going on in Gainesville, they are going to be using that to tip the bands and to pay for merch and to maybe even buy beer and chips and other stuff at the show. So that's in there. Go check that out. Also, there is the new governance page that follows suit with what was just released on web, where now you can go to one page on mobile as well. You can see everything that is available and pending. That is anything that isn't resolved that you can vote on. That's the first tab or button there. The second tab with the feather is, and this is just a screenshot because it's hard to share the mobile on our streaming platform here. The feather is anything that you have proposed. The clock is anything that you have voted on in the past, and the world is everything in all the layer governance, including things that you can't vote on. You can also sort by last modified or by created date, which is sometimes useful if you're trying to find something. And we are, when we release the site-wide governance, those governance issues will populate this same page. So you'll see the site-wide, and it might be styled slightly differently so that you can see, oh, this is a site-wide issue versus just a layer 1. But either way, those governance issues that you can vote on will also be in this interface. So it's really good stuff. And I'm happy that it's there because I was having to switch back and forth between web and mobile. So it's a great thing. Next, make sure you tune in tomorrow for Coffee with Den. I'm not certain what the theme is for tomorrow, but they've been doing demos and showing various features of the platform and talking about how it works so that people understand why certain things are the way they are. So check that out. It's tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock Eastern US, 6 a.m. Pacific US. And then the Den governance call, which is every Thursday at 3, is now weekly. Every Thursday at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. See the post in the Den Gov layer for the agenda and also a link to join live. So if you have anything that you would want to discuss or debate or you complain about, you can go and join us live and ask us there. You don't have to show your camera if you don't want to, but you can, whatever would make sense. But it's open to anybody to come in, and it has happened. Next, we'll go to the World Blockchain Roundtable update. Episode 37 is on Thursday. The topic is NFT utility. Do please go leave a question or a topic on the NFT utility weekly post, and vote on everyone else's replies so that we get the best questions, the best topics up at top. See how far we can get through them. It is an hour and a half now, so we tend to get a little further than we did in the past. And watch and share last week's episode on journalism. Now, it actually was really good content, I do think. It currently has over 2,000 views. And the more views it gets in the first week, the more lot all the participants will get. That's it. So this is first week of the month, so it is a full AMA. So I'll answer questions until almost the top of the hour, and we'll come back right after this.
Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best.
Adaptable, all capital, label radical yet rational. Adaptable approach is palpable if this animal is fallible, but that conclusion is laughable. So withdrawal detachable from the mandible. You see it now?
All right, we're back. So we refresh the post and we go down to the first question, which is from Snapshot. Okay. Hi, guys. Just wondering if any of the Dragonchain team can give an update on what is happening with CLC. I think you mean CTLC, which is what? Captured Time Lending Contract in the console, and a timeline, what direction is heading. Also moving forward, what are the plans for time? How do you plan to induce a value into it? Thanks. So as always, it's the thing we're all waiting for is the real adoption when businesses get what can be done, and that has been happening. And we are engaging with a lot of very interesting projects that would affect the value of time. We do have some plans that I talked a little bit about last week with potential to limit the number of nodes to make them more rare, to make them harder to get. It'll be behavior based and based on past behavior and ongoing behavior. If and when we do that, it might not happen, but I do think it'll happen. And then the second bit is to find some mechanism to easily tokenize time, or to make time attainable in a way that puts value on it so that it could be traded. Maybe it would be an NFT, maybe it would be something else. But the thing we can't sacrifice is the scarcity of that time. That is, it has to be hard to come by. You have to wait to generate it. And, maybe it would mean that using it would burn it over time, or that, there are a lot of options. And so we have a lot of things that might happen, and all of that will happen when we get the traffic going through the network. So anyway, next question, Fust. Can you explain how Dragonchain can or is helping secure Gmail? I can explain how it can. I'm not going to talk about anything with the partnership we have in particular yet, which, by the way, very, very interesting group, very amazing group, and some of the things that we've discussed with them, it's just brilliant that there are a lot of really valuable things that we're hoping to plug in to their platform and their services. And Gmail would, at least in my opinion, should be one of them, but it kind of depends upon that's a business discussion. But the technical side of it is, you think about it, you have G Suite. So you have Google Cloud, you have G Suite. I'm a longtime user of Google Cloud. We used it in its extremely early days to do some really remarkable things, probably around 2012, maybe even 2011. It's a long time ago. And there's some amazing stuff, even as far back as that. So there are some cloud pieces that we would like to provide, including something as unique as ransomware protection, various types of insider attack protections, things that aren't generally available that blockchain can really help with Gmail and other things on Google, like say the Vault or Drive. It would be very valuable to have all of the proof, potentially the entire data from your Gmail, but in the very least the proof, so that for legal reasons or any reason at all, you would be able to prove that this really was the message that you sent. Of course, we could also allow people to plug in more advanced encryption and things like that, especially with the quantum tools that we have. So that's generally the high level of it. I'm really excited about that whole suite and all of the possibilities that we're going to be hitting. So, and we're just starting. So next question, Babar Rafik. I have time in the millions, but running node is not profitable, and we have not much choices to play with. Time. Can we see upcoming months' time, more use cases and more utility? Thanks. Depends on where you're running it, if it's profitable or not. Usually you could run it on a small machine in your house, on a Raspberry Pi, or on your desktop along with everything else, and it would be profitable. Generally, depending how much time you have and the time window that we're talking about. But yes, I mean, if you have ideas for what we could apply time to, we would be open to that. Again, if we did anything with tokenizing the time, and when I say tokenizing, it might not be something that would be tradable on the open market. It might be tradable only inside of Dragonchain console, where people could say, okay, I have excess time, or I don't have the technical prowess to run a server on my own, so I'm just going to sell my time. You could do something like that, and have the competitive side of it and everything else there. We used to use it for beta launches. That's a big piece. That was the very first real utility that we had with time. So pretty cool stuff. Anyway, next question, Jacob Wayne. I've been using Brave browser as well as the iOS app, and the notifications button has never worked for me. But I just realized it's working for others, and they're using a different browser. It also still gives denizens a max of 25 subs, and iOS has the accurate number. So you talk about we can't troubleshoot every browser. Curious what the technical reason would be for Brave not being able to display those properly, even just a wild guess. So I don't know if you mean the notification, like say the browser notification that gives you a pop-up, or if you mean the little blue dot that's next to the bell when you have messages. I would imagine that the bell badge, or whatever you call a little dot, I would expect that works, but I've not looked on Brave. We test everything with Chrome, and I think some of the guys probably run Firefox occasionally too. But I know Brave is Chromium based. I don't know how the versions are forked or anything else though, so I don't know what might be different. And that's something that we right now can't concentrate on. Maybe in the future we would look at it a little tighter, but we're trying to just keep the best bang for the buck on what we're doing. And by the way, other than the little bell icon, which is very valuable because you can see, oh, somebody's replied to me, we have a bunch of things that we're going to improve on the notification side. One of them being that instead of just notifying a direct reply, it would also notify any new conversation inside of a thread that you're involved in, right? And we have to figure out some of the rules behind how, you don't want it to be too noisy, but half the time you don't know that somebody replied to or reply to you that you might want to, discuss. So we're gonna work on some of that, and also we might, if you are talking about the pop-up from the browser, we might actually eliminate that because it's a little flaky even on Chrome. That since we put that in before we had mobile running, it's not usually the best system because the operating system has to kind of cooperate with the browser to do that, and it's just kind of so anyway. Next question, Hodl. How many devs work with Dragonchain? Any link with Google Cloud Team, if possible, to share to the community? I don't know what you mean. We have well, it's a variable number. It depends on what we're doing with various projects, how many devs are working with us. So we have a few external teams that are joining a couple different projects, and I don't know what you mean by any link with the Google Cloud Team, if possible, to share community. I don't know. We'll share anything we can. So as soon as we know anything, or as soon as anything is out there, ready to go. I know we have to do some development work with them, and there'll be some exciting things because a lot of those things that I've wanted to build, we didn't have anyone on the inside to really help us figure out how to connect in a proper way so it could fit inside their marketplace and stuff. So next question, Jiden. Would you ever consider writing a book about the early days of Dragonchain and all of the craziness that you dealt with? I'd be super interested to read about this, as I'm sure many other early supporters would too. Snapshot did say there was a documentary called Open Source Money, which is, by the way, was really well produced, was really well done, but they very much glossed over a lot of stuff. There were characters in the early days that are not mentioned at all in that, and there's stupid drama that happened that's not mentioned in there, and there crazy things that are what would you want to say, acts of God that happened during those early days that still kind of blows my mind, some of the things that happened, because if they hadn't happened, we would have never gotten it out of Disney. So there's some really cool stuff. And I don't know about a book. I don't know. I mean, it would be cool to write the stories up. Maybe we'll write them in Den, right, someday, and just like do a series of them, and you guys can compile them into a book later. Anyway, next, Kratos, God of Boy. I hope I pronounced that correctly. As you may have heard, Disney's planning on making its own metaverse and has a partnership with a project called Ecomi to sell Marvel NFTs. With Disney entering the crypto space, is there any chance Disney partners with Dragonchain on future projects? I have no idea. I'm not openly pushing for that. They have, you know how it is, really big company. I don't have, and purposely I tried to separate myself as much as possible when I left so that I didn't have any conflicts of interest and didn't have any issues. And I think they appreciated that. They asked for a disclaimer, which still remains on our socials. So we get to say Disney. It's kind of nice. But and I'm also, I will tell you honestly, I'm not a fan of Marvel. I never have been. Well, I was when I was a little kid, maybe. But I'm not really a fan of Marvel. I think it's horrible stuff. So anyway, but that's another matter, right? We'd still do it. We would still do it if they came to us, but I'm not actively pushing to go and get Disney to do stuff. So anyway, next question. Hopefully that's okay. Robin Claes, do you have an update about my travel block / Travel Dragon? There's nothing released. There is there are things going on, and there were. I will say that group, I don't know how to describe it. That group did split and change some of their priorities. And one part of it has made really good headway in getting a couple of projects started, and so we're waiting on a few things, but very promising, very interesting pieces that they're working on. But I don't have any updates. So, Wafty Cranker, will the reply function in the app automatically capitalize the first letter of each sentence in the future? I don't think we'd ever do that with the reply. And I don't know if that's just maybe you didn't mean that. The post, though, should. Absolutely. There are two things, in fact, that need to happen. And the guys have been working, the devs, the engineers have been working heavily on site-wide governance. So I've tried to kind of have a light touch and not give them all these, smaller things. What we try to do is, after a release of one of these bigger things, we try to and we're going to start using site-wide governance to do this. We try to prioritize the small things that we can get done while we're letting the big feature roll out. And, that way, if something is not perfectly going well with a feature, if there's a bug we didn't expect or didn't catch, that they won't be working on any big features. They're working on small things so they can jump over and fix the bugs, and then they can get the small things done, and then we turn on another big feature. That's kind of the model. And one of them is that, yes, the posts or the titles. So the reply doesn't have a title, but the post has a title, and it should be capitalized like the web is when you type it out. I'm not sure if it is. I don't think it is on mobile, but I'll have to look. And then the second bit is the tags. Right now, at least on my phone, it tries to capitalize it, and the system, it shouldn't do that because the system only accepts lowercase. It should force it all lowercase. A couple of little things. There are a lot of little things that we need to work on. So next, also Wafty Cranker, what happened to, I don't understand this question. We'll go on to the next one. Oh, that's it. Liquid Lobotomy deleted their question. That's okay. Maybe it was duplicate. So anyway, that is it. That is, and that, gosh, we're only at 30-minute mark. That's pretty good. So hopefully I didn't go too fast. And thank you all for joining. Make sure you watch us next Tuesday. In the meantime, go check out the new World Blockchain Roundtable merch. I think it's only been up there a week. I need to order some. I have my purple Den shirt on, but go and buy some cool logo, simple. Go buy a mug or something. And also, we have a special with the Dragon Energy Equals Love, the tweet that got an intern fired way back when Kanye was posting all the Dragon Energy stuff, and it was very controversial. But it was one of the most retweeted Dragonchain tweets in the old days. So anyway, Dragon Love 2022, you can get 20% off. It's basically a cost of any of the little dragon with the heart, because it's Valentine's Day coming up, right? So next, make sure you, again, watch us next week, next Tuesday, same time. Watch World Blockchain Roundtable this Thursday. Follow us, Dragonchain, Real Denizens, and Jojo Row. And, like, comment, subscribe, and share this video too. Thanks so much. See you next week.
Now, more than ever, our data is at risk. Our supply chains are in jeopardy. Our systems are broken, and businesses feel powerless. Dragonchain gives you a different way, a safer way, a better way, and you have power over your data. Dragonchain gives you proof in an untrusted world. Build now at Dragonchain.com. America's blockchain.